Good morning, everybody. This is my first time I try to apply a software encoder, so I can show you multiple camera or multiple sources, like my computer screen, and in addition to the painting area. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Let's see how it works. This is my I'll wait a few minutes to see if I got any audience there. So I can show you multiple camera or multiple sources like computer screen and computer screen in addition to the painting area. Good morning, everybody. See how it works. Let's see how it works. I'll wait a few minutes. I'll wait a few minutes. I'll wait a few minutes to see if I got any audience there. Camera or multiple sources like computer screen, computer screen, as we talked on Saturday, I start to study the bamboo painting manual instead of copy calligraphy every morning. If you're interested, you can follow me on this channel. This event I called study the simple and easy bamboo painting manual with me. You can follow me. We will. You can get this textbook from Blue Heron Arts. There's a download version, also a hard copy that you can get. Also hard copy you can get. Hard copy that you can get. Okay, I just found this image I want to show you. This is a shot from my backyard, the bamboo stock that we talked about. Remember this? So first of all, let's review what we talked about on Saturday. I want to show you. This is I talked about this thing, right? This stripe. It's what you see here. You can see here this pattern, like I call it a ditch, a stripe, but it's not a pattern. It's actually a physical uh, fault. You can see on the bamboo stalk here, and you can see on this little one also. So this is a bamboo species we call the black bamboo. You can it will turn black when it's old. The first year is green, then it will turn black. Um, and here are the little tricks. If you haven't seen a real bamboo, you may not understand what this is on the painting manual. So this is the joint of the bamboo that we did various formats. The bird's beak looking back, its belly, the dragon eye, the hook, and so on. So this is the painting like this. And we talked about the beginning and ending of each section. How to use ink, so we uh, you can start with the major stalk and then add branches. And this is the young bamboo leaf without leaf, and the bamboo shoot in the spring, the root, and the branches in on old bamboo or autumn. But it's not evergreen. I mean, it's not a autumn tree like the leaf falls. The old bamboo may look like this, but artistically, this is um, as important as the leaf formation, leaf grooves we need to practice. Then we talked about the individual leaves and how to do two leaves, one, two, side view, one long, one short, one big, one small. Okay. Oh, maybe there's an echo. Let's see. Yeah, I'm using this new uh, program to broadcast. So let me stop here, and then I will try um, another way to go live without using the YouTube event software. I'm sorry about the technical problem. I'll be back with a really live streaming. So let me here, and then I'll try another way to go live without without event software. I'm sorry about the technical problem. I'll be back with a really live streaming. I think I know I have two windows open so that goes live. I think sorry about the technical problems. I think I figured out. Can you hear me better now? I think I know I have two windows open so that no echo, right? Live, I think. Sorry about the technical problems. I think I figured out. Can you hear me better now? Okay, I think I opened the two windows, so that's why there's echo. I closed that windows. I tried to monitor it. Now I see where I can monitor it without the echoing. No echo, right? Live, I think. Sorry about the technical problems. I think I figured out. Can you hear me better now? Okay, I think I opened the two windows, so that's why there's echo. I closed that windows. I tried to monitor it. Now I see where I can monitor it without the echoing. But there's a little delay. No echo, right? Sorry about the technical problems. I think I figured out. Can you hear me better now? Let me find the next page. Okay, I think I opened the two windows, so that's why we have done this. Echo. I closed that windows. I tried to monitor. Okay, this is the new page, but there's a little delay. No echo, right? Let me find the next page. I opened the two windows. We have done this. Okay, this is the new page. But there's a little delay. Okay, I'm going to cut my paper. I'm using mulberry paper. You can use any rice paper. For this purpose, you can use the calligraphy practicing paper, like the Japanese paper, anything. You can use magic cloth, if you will, to save paper, to cut my paper. But I do want you to use paper and ink. With this lesson, if you could, to do it in front of your computer, because this will show you the use of tonality. You can use magic cloth, if you will, to save paper. Oops, my ink stick got stuck. I do want you to use paper and ink. With this lesson, if you could, to do it in front of your computer, because so let's go back to my calligraphy brush. If you have watched me earlier, this is the same calligraphy brush. Oops, my ink stick got stuck. I do want you to use paper and ink. With this lesson, if you could, to do it in front of your computer, because so let's go back to my calligraphy brush. If you have watched me earlier, this is the same calligraphy brush. Let me know how it sounds now. I'm sorry for the problem with the sound, but basically you can pick up most of the um, information by watching me. If you are bothered with sound, you can just mute it and just watch my demos, okay? Let me know how it sounds now. I'm sorry for the problem with sound, but basically you can pick up most of the information by watching me. If you are bothered with sound, you can just mute it and just watch my demos, okay? Let me know how it sounds now. I'm sorry for the problem with sound, but basically you can pick up most of the. I see there's a echo, so I have to talk uh, with a pause, so just like repeating myself. It's funny, but tomorrow we'll do a different way, see which one works. I see there's a echo, so I have to talk uh, with a pause, so just like repeating myself. It's funny, but tomorrow we'll do a different way, see which one works. I see there's a echo. Okay. So I have to talk uh, with a pause, so just like repeating myself. It's funny, but this is how you make two crossing leaves. Usually we don't see this this X uh, without a third okay or without maybe a third stroke to balance. I mean to break this X. So this is how you make two. You do have option to make a cross, but be careful. This will make noticeable. We don't see this. This you will be, it will be noticed on the painting without a third. Okay, without very third stroke. If it's unwanted, you know, you avoided that. So this is so you make two. You do have option to make a cross, but this is what we call the two flying leaves upward, right? It could be on the top of the branch. Very and two slant leaves to the left, just like you write the Chinese brush stroke in the calligraphy stroke. Remember that we lift the brush at the end without moving the arm, or you know, just swing with your wrist. So you move the brush horizontally, and then you swept. Just make it straight. This is the calligraphy stroke, right? The curve. Don't curve when you paint bamboo leaves. You will make it look like a willow or peach, not a bamboo. Bamboo is straight. Just swing with your wrist. So you move the brush horizontally. Just like we start with a stroke. Just make it straight. This is in calligraphy. You always goes up before go down like this. So then you pause a little bit, rub the tip on the top, and then expose it straight at the end. Just like we start, even a short one, you do the same. You know, just in calligraphy, you always. This is what the book like this. So then you repeat this. You're not supposed to repeat it, but rub the tip on the top. This is like a character 人 at the end. People. Just like we start, even a short one, you do the same. You know, just. Then we have this is 入. 入 is the character opposite. You know, this side is long. You're not supposed to repeat it. But rub the tip on the top. This is like a character 人 at the end. People. This side is narrow and short. 入. Even a short one, you do the same. You know, just. Then we have Ru. Ru is the character opposite. This side is long. Not supposed to repeat it. This is like a character Ren. Two slant leaves towards the right, and this one is another flying leaf. I would do this base one first, which is short. Then this is a little tricky. You you start to the leaves towards the left, then bend to the right. Imagine the wind direction is this. This one is another. The wind indicates the flying. I would do this, and then just base one first. Because you can also enhance that wind effect by adding a little tip to the towards the left, then bend to the right. Imagine the wind direction is this. This one is another. The wind indicates the flying. I would do this, and then just base one first. Because you can also enhance that wind effect by adding a little tip to the and then the final I think is called I thought it was called character 8, but not. You just say two leaves, one small, one big. So whenever you have two lines or two similar objects, like leaves, don't paint them identical. Just make one small, one big. That's a general idea. Two leaves. I would avoid this actually by all means. So in the beginning, don't try this X crossing object. Like leaves. Don't paint. You can make two leaves overlapping a little bit, but not make a hard cross. I would avoid this actually by all means. So in the beginning, don't try this X crossing object. Like leaves. Don't paint. You can make two leaves overlapping a little bit, but not make a hard cross. I would avoid this actually by all means. So in the beginning, don't try this X crossing object. Okay, I think we still have echo or better. I don't know where the echo is from. Let me do one more page, maybe before we try something else. Okay, I think we still have echo or better. I don't know where the echo is from. Let me do one more page, maybe before we try something else. Oh, here we go. I found another window that making the sound. I think I fixed it. There's a preview window right above me. Anyway, I think I fixed it. Just a little bit technically This is my first time I use a YouTube event software that so I can show you two or more multiple cameras. Um, you can you can watch my computer screen if I need. Is that cool? Let me enlarge this one before I do it. So you can let me just read uh, through this. This page is talking about um, three leaves. The first diagram, uh, if you don't read Chinese, you should learn at least these numbers. It's pretty easy. One dash stands for first, two dashes two, or second, and three dashes third, right? So one, two, three. There's little marks and right under the tip of that stroke that shows you the stroke order. So this, I'll show you while we talk, so you know what I mean. This is number one. So this is the Chinese number character for one. Number two, number two, and this is number three. Number three is like a dot. That can stands for a side view, a foreshortened leaf. Again, let me just do it smaller. One, two, three, to fill in the blank. Okay. And you can extend that third third leaf, but this time you do it in a sequence, not to add the middle leaf in you go from left to right maybe. So one, two, three, three leaves. This is what we also uh, called good. The character good is very well known in bamboo painting. You do a group like writing a Chinese character. Good means individual. Individual group is I think I just blocked my view. I'm sorry. I forgot to to shrink it. Let me do it again. One small, one large. Okay. And then so three leaves. This dot can count as a foreshortened side view leaf. This is known as the ge. Okay, the next group, something complicated here. If you make a crossing, you should indicate the host and guest, the main and the secondary, or the major and the subordinate strokes. So start with small and then the large. So one, two, three is the order. So the three leaves, regular leaves, could have some variations. Um, let's say you could have two small ones and then a large one. You could have two big ones on the sides and one small in the middle. But these two should not be symmetrical. You can make cross with other group if you will. And you can have sparse, dense, and sparse. Or you without touching, this more like a snow. You could have white snow covered leaves with a space if you wash the background. And or just add a dot to indicate, just to suggest the third leaf. You can add a little dot. And this two parallel, I will um, make this longer, maybe slightly. But you change the balance. If you change one, you have to balance with the other. So the whole group is more important than individual leaves. Okay, with the stem, with the branches, this we talked about earlier on Saturday, the fishbone stroke, like a fishbone, right? One short, one long, and then you add leaves. I will say most of the leaves should be facing down, but on top of the branch, you could have one or two upward leaves. And you can add a little, and you can balance it with a dot if there's a blank. Just be creative. Um, you don't have to trace this book like I did with calligraphy, but uh, learn the essence, the heart of the ancient, not the traces. That's the Chinese saying. So I don't hear any echo anymore. Is there any sound? No sound? The Chinese saying. So I don't hear any echo anymore. Is there any sound? No sound? It's very tricky. So I don't hear any echo anymore. Is there any sound? I think that's all for today. Bear with me if you are bothered with the strange echoes problem. Oh, great. Thanks, Hans. I was puzzled with this. There's a preview window and a public view window on the same page. If I open both monitoring windows, I will hear the echo. Now I leave only one. If I close both, maybe I didn't hear anything. I'm not sure. If you could tell me if I close both sounds, so I cannot hear myself. Now I have one window public view window on the same page. If I with sound only. Monitoring windows, I will hear the echo. Now I leave only one. If I close both, maybe I didn't hear anything. I'm not sure. If you could tell me if I close both sounds, so I cannot hear myself. Now I have one window public view window on the same page. If I with sound only. Monitoring windows, I will hear the echo. Now I leave only one. If I close both, maybe I didn't hear anything. Okay, I think I have to just mute all sound. So let's do one more, maybe. Page down. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to enlarge it. If you have the book, you can turn to page 13. Um, on the on this lower left side, you'll see the number 10. It's like it looks like a cross. That's number 10, and it's 3. 10 plus 3 is 13. Page 13. Can you see that? Let me enlarge it. I'm talking about this page number. I'm on page 13. 4 leaves. You might notice I don't worry about ink. Um, the reason is that when we actually paint bamboo, I would not vary tonality within one leaf. I have seen many students do that. Um, if you would like, if you look at ancient masters like Zheng Banqiao, the greatest artist in bamboo painting, he only varies the tone before and after. How to say? The front and back. You know, I can overlap. Maybe I try some later. So first of all, you do the dark, which is in the front. In Chinese painting, the dark is the light, how to speak. It's the what's in the front, and the background is light. Just the opposite of the watercolor painting, you know. So I'm going to paint this group. In Chinese book, we read from right to left, vertically, right? So I start the upper left corner, after right corner, from right to left. So the first stroke, it says 平一. It gives another indication, flat. It could be more flat, leveled, leveled, number one, and straight, number two, but not exactly perpendicular, you know. So flat and straight, and oblique, the third. Then flying. You know, just swing with your wrist. Your wrist. Swing to get the tip. Swept. If we this book continue to count uh, downstroke number 5, which is number 5, and then slant stroke number 6. This is number 6. The character number 6. And then crossing number 7. Crossing. And number 8. Flying. I just write these numbers. This stands for the Chinese is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the next two groups towards the uh, left, lean towards the left or lean towards the right. So three leaves are well, this one actually not on the book. I made a mistake. It's a little bit uh, starts, you know, shift to the right, but I did it more towards the left. Then I have to change this last character, I mean last stroke, to balance that. So this basically, if you twist a little bit, it will be more like this. Doesn't matter, you know, as long as the uh, internal relationship is right, it could be, you can have this third stroke more straight, or you know, lean and slightly to the left. Then this, we have a character for this, which is penny. If you look at these connection lines, it uh, it shows the stroke order. So you do this two on left, then this two, right, connect, and lean to the right. So one small and short, one long and big towards the right. Then another group. Try not to do parallel lines. This stroke is very elegant. It's like almost like an orchid. It's a side view. You know, the leaf looking like this instead of this, so you get a narrow stroke. So four strokes. Okay, I have some space here, so I will show you the um, ink use before we end this session. I'm glad that we figured out everything. Uh, this is my first lesson, so I was very nervous how it works, and then uh, now I'm very happy. So I'll do something for fun. You can overlap two grooves, but remember I said you can use different ink. Let me just use a different brush, same brush, 123 brush, but I just used light ink to add an overlapping. Um, Let me just add another, a little review of the previous lesson. You can use light ink to do um, the, the branches. Unless you're very good at it, you can use dark ink to make a more statement, you know. So you can add light leaves in the background. Don't be afraid to uh, break the frame or the edge. You always uh, do a group without thinking. Okay, it's time to make a composition, maybe. But we don't have a good. I mean, according to the book, I'm jumping forward to the. This book may not talk about the composition, but I just want to show you when I have a feel to do it. So you can you can start from the leaves, if you will, on a small painting. That's I just did. But normally you start from the stock, right? You make a light ink first, clean the brush, make sure the bottom is no ink. So you load the brush with light ink. I think vertical composition may be better. Okay. You, notice that I've kind of varied a little bit between sections, the direction, not exactly a straight line. Um, you can do another branch. You alternate the side, so one left, one on the right. Okay, now I add leaves. You can dot the joints like we talked about. Just put two dots sometimes. A little bit on the branch. Dark leaves first. First of all, we just do very standard leaves, not with wind. Maybe later you can try rain, wind or rain. So I use leaves to uh, adjust these lines, right? So remember we do a four-leaf group, and then we can add um, another group. This is too parallel. I have to break that. This two parallel. Let's see. We add one long, one short, and then one flying. Okay. And we can just add another one. Be careful when you cross the line, the leaves, even between the groups. One long, one short. You don't have to um, think about group if it's something you want to correct, then you make it more into the grooves. So this is more like a battlefield, like we talked about in calligraphy. The paper is battlefield, right? You have to struggle with dense and sparse, with all the variations. Yeah, you can create problems if you do it one by one, like without the group. So, but the way to fix it, still, thinking of the group. If you can add the group back, you can fix the problem. Just try to, so you end up with a more complex, com, you know, complicated. Now the light on the back, I can just add some half leaves to suggest more the bamboo outside the painting. And just add more water. The background. When you follow the rules, it's much easier. If you try to create your own uh, composition without the following this basic groups or fractal elements, then you're in trouble. So just if you could just repeat this group formula that we just learned from the manual, it's much easier. So you just cross your eyes and just do the 4 or the 3. By repeating them, you will get a nice painting, right? I just wash my brush and then just add little atmosphere because this group makes a a little bit messy. Just clean the brush. I try to create some morning mist or something. This is mulberry paper. It's fun to wash. And you leave some dry spot. It's very important. Misty. misty bamboo. Clean the brush. Now my water is still clean. That's uh, use ink as treasure, as a gold. Also, your water is part of the the color. The 水墨 means sumi boku. The sumi 水墨 meaning water and ink. So water is part of the beauty. This rice paper, mulberry paper. So I hope you enjoyed this first live event. I would try to continue this on a daily basis um, to study bamboo with you. You can, you can. It's almost like fabric. This mulberry paper. That's why I like it. It's mulberry number one. It's still working, so you can get a light a light color with water water just like we do landscape. We start from dark and then we wash before it gets dry. So wet on dry, then um, wet into dry to make it lighter. So don't worry about ink tone at beginning. Then you can still have chance to change it. Make like a draining bamboo now. I may ruin it, but it's okay. Just experiment. I'll show a picture and post after it dries, so you can take a final look on my Facebook. And I can just sign here. My name is Xiao Hui, meaning morning sunshine. Um, that's my Chinese name. I wish everybody have a good week. Until tomorrow, goodbye.